Bitcoin is too volatile. That's why it will never be a money. The government will just shut it down. There is no use case. It's too slow. Only criminals use it. It's destroying the environment. How's your trade going anyway? Do you remember what you were doing 1 year ago? What about 2 years ago? 5 or 10? Well, lucky for us, some midwits who like to speak before they think chose to record their thoughts about Bitcoin. So we're going to take a trip down memory lane so everyone can be reminded that they were wrong. It's Sir Ulrich, and we're going to do something different. I want to start off with Culture Corner. There's something I want you all to see. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book has been rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street and building has been renamed. Every date has been altered, and the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. That's Winston Smith, the protagonist of George Orwell's 1984. So here's a question for you. How have you witnessed this quote realized in reality over the last 4 to 5 years? Tell me about it in the comments below. For me today, I want to take a look at a collection of writers, commentators, and pundits and their disposition on Bitcoin. It's amazing how many bad takes are publicized, but there never seems to follow any admission of error. The egotism of the fiat industry does not allow for any intellectual honesty. But today we're going to do them a favor. We will deliver an honest-to-goodness history lesson to remind everyone out there Bitcoin will surely outlast any pitiful haters. The Sir Ulrich signal meter is green in tribute to fellow Swan Neil Jacobs, head of brand engagement, for collecting so many of these stories. If you don't follow him already, his tweets are always on the cutting edge of Bitcoin news. The Washington Post is a well-known fiat shill and lost its objective journalistic integrity long before this embarrassing editorial by San Francisco elite Vivek Wadhwa. While he was top 40 technical mind in 2013 by Time magazine, he must have started falling off at the time of this publication. If academics are this wrong about topics in which they have a platform, do you really want them teaching your kids? He thought Bitcoin was going to be the next Friendster, MySpace, and Pets.com. Maybe he was thinking about his own companies he allegedly started. Can't find much about them anywhere. There are bots, there is AI, and then there are journalists like Matt Krantz. Peeling through his work, you'll see soulless regurgitations, generic analyses, and eerily automated feeling articles that make you think twice if Krantz is actually flesh and blood. Maybe if he turned off his content scripts and tuned into Swan Bitcoin YouTube, he may wake up from his blindness 10 years in the making. Speaking of which, your subscriptions, likes, and interactions with the page help us beat the YouTube algorithm saturated with crypto scams and fiat noise. Do your part to deliver the orange pill to those that are looking for it. What do you get when you cross CNBC with a Nobel-winning economist? Well, you get a bad joke. The mainstream media truly does not think highly of their viewing audience. Robert Shiller labeled Bitcoin a fad in 2017, but then dropped his own hot take saying gold is also a fad that's lasted thousands of years. WTF, mate? A fad by definition is a short-lived interest. There's 10 times more intelligence in an evening binging robot chicken than Robert Shiller trying not to suffocate from too much English and Bitcoin at the same time. P.S. There's another bad joke somewhere tied to his last name Schiller that I reserve for the people in the comments section below. Peter Schiff. If there's one thing I can say is he's a brilliant marketer. He decided Bitcoin needed a villain, might as well be him. If Bitcoiners didn't get so excited to get into Twitter rivalries, his comic book antics about Bitcoin may have been ignored by now. Yet still, Schiff has been around for almost a decade, promising you this is the year Bitcoin goes to zero. His Twitter persona is about as believable as the damage from the rock's people's elbow. I guess everyone has that thing that they're into. You guys are gonna love this one. Norel Rifkin says Bitcoin is bullshit and only attracts suckers. He also called it the mother of all bubbles. Well, if you dive into his complaints, you'll see his short-sighted definition of decentralization is focused on fiat exchanges. The highly regarded NYU economist fails to realize the decentralization of Bitcoin is about the enforcement of protocol and the minting of new coins. Now this guy, as boss of Atlas Capital, has become an elite-level hypocrite and launched his own scam, the Atlas Climate Token, in November of 2023. I tell you, this bull market coming up is going to be colorful. I'm sure when his scam tanks, likely because he rugs whatever saps buys into it, he will once again complain about Bitcoin in the same way he did years before. So which one of these naysayers was most irritating to you? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Also, see if you can guess which one pisses me off the most. Now, I know we're supposed to be positive and encouraging, but as much as Bitcoin is about hope, it's also about objectivism, foundations, and just being real. We have to come to the realization that most people in our society will be on the wrong side of this monetary transition. They listen to people like the ones I mentioned earlier that say the way things are will just continue. And Bitcoin is just a fad, as they ignore any empirical or rational proof you provide to them. Most will repeat the platitudes of Peter Schiff, Elizabeth Warren, or Warren Buffett as their savings melts away before their very eyes. A few others may marvel in awe, but watch on the sidelines, never to put even $10 in a hot wallet. And even fewer may go buy a mining stock or ETF on their stock brokerage app. To be a Bitcoiner, you truly are the remnant. Are you willing to stand firm in your convictions, knowing people around you, even loved ones, may hope that you fail? I want to hear about other pillars of life that you hold tightly despite opposition around you. Let me know in the comments below. I am Sir Ulrich, like my father before me. Look out for the next time when we give the spotlight to another set of experts that think their fragile opinion and ego can stand up against the most important asset on the planet.